life shine. You gotta be working to get the woman in the wine. Keep the beat and get your hands in the air. Shuffle the beat cause it's an African affair. To Buffalo Park and our home at St. George's. We're bringing the silverware back on the gorgeous. That's the way of the warrior. That's the way of the warrior. That's the way of the warrior. That's the everyday warrior.
Down, coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino's shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage. And we're here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Gino's spot. And we're straight into it. Andrew's in the studio with me already. We're ready to go. Welcome. It's Tuesday night, 6:30, and that is always Gino's spot every single Tuesday. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please make sure that you do that right away. Don't mess around anymore. No buggering around now. Go to the YouTube and you push the little bell, and it'll remind you every Tuesday when we have Gino's spot. We must obviously thank our sponsors that have been with us mostly from the beginning. I think Fat Cats had some chow. Thank you to Grace from Fat Cats. Look at that lovely chow. We've nearly finished the bloody thing already. We've been going very well with that. Thank you very much. And of course to Fitch and Leeds, Gary DeBray and the guys. We are actually having a special Fitch and Leeds program on the 3rd of December because they are supporting our penguins. And with it coming up now for Christmas, I thought that penguins were a good thing to help because it helps PE and it helps, and not only are we going to be helping penguins here if we solve the penguin problem, but we at least help towards it. We're going to try and create more awareness of what's happening with the penguins and stop the bunkering and stop the crap in our beautiful bay. And cheers to that indeed. Yeah. And here you go, cheers. We'll cheers that.
We don't like all that nonsense.
No, we don't like that. And so I'm doing a show as well just to help that too. We're going to get somebody from Sandkop to come and chat, and some of the guys from Fitch and Leeds too are going to pop in, and we're going to chat about what they're doing with that penguin juice. Look at it. It's a pineapple lemonade, and you add a little bit of tequila or a little bit of something, and we can end up with and that's a very nice drink, actually. Very lekker. I'm going to get some in the studio soon. We've got a little bit in the studio. Very, very nice. And then, of course, our venue, our new venue, Center Stage at Bay West. We have done most of our shows there now. The 80s, we just finished the 80s. Center Stage at Bay West, powered by Line Out. And the next thing on is from the 3rd to the 22nd of December. It's the P-Mads Pantomime, Cinderella and the Ice Queen's Enchantment. Lekker for the kids.
Awesome.
And then it's got an extra level of humor for the adults.
No, we've always done pantomime, so we'll probably have to make it to this one as well. Yeah.
That's it. I think once you've done one, you've got to keep going. It's just it's one of those things.
I enjoy the humor.
No, it's great.
It's just fantastic.
It's like it's got those two levels of humor,
one for the littlies, and one for the not so littlies.
Yes, it goes straight over their heads. It's great. So that will be at our venue at Center Stage at Bay West, which is at Bay West. Bay West, which is having certainly a rejuvenation and a renewal with the karting being there. They've got the go karting now. That's now there, and they've got they've just opened Mel and Tash have opened their selfie museum.
Yeah.
You got to check out the selfie museum. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's got like 1 million places where you can take selfies. So you take kids there and they have an absolute joy. They can do all sorts of selfies in all sorts of rooms and
if it
stuff.
was up to me, we would be having other events there too.
As well. We certainly will be. We certainly will be. Imagine that if we could have other events there too, which will be at Centre Stage at Bay West. I think that would be a marvellous idea.
Fantastic.
And of course, we are going up to East London this weekend as well. That is for the Innovators with Tuba Mieki on vocals. We're going to be at the Guild Theatre, so don't miss out on that if you're in East London side. Tag your East London friends, please, because the 2 shows. The Innovators on Friday night, Saturday night is ABBA. Absolutely ABBA. So if you're an ABBA crazy person, you want to dress up a bit, have a bit of a jaw, for a huge band, lekker band, a full band, live and in your face. That's right, at the Guild Theatre. ABBA, absolutely ABBA on Saturday night, and on Friday night we have the Innovators. And that's pretty much all I've got to tell you for the beginning before we go and introduce my guest, which already introduced himself, Mr. Andrew Stewart,
Cheers.
who is here.
I'm amazed to be in Gino's Spot's room.
Can you believe it?
Eh?
You're right in here, and look how wonderful it is.
Just
Look at
chatting
all
about what it takes to get invited into the room.
It takes a very special VIP ticket.
And I'm so chuffed to eventually have made it.
You made the grade, like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Exactly. And ahead of my brother.
I know, your brother, the artiste.
Yes, I'm so grateful. I mean, everything is a competition. If you got a family member,
of course, your brothers.
It's all about competition.
Yeah.
So who does what first?
Yeah.
I've got this up
and you got Gino Spot. Duncan's going to have to come on now. We're gonna.
Sorry, but
I have actually spoken to him about it a long time ago, because I've got a painting or 2 here of your boots, and he's a very talented lad.
Well, I must say, Gino, I mean, I told you earlier that arriving here about 17, 18 years ago, for the first 3 or 4 years, I didn't have a name. I was Duncan's brother.
Okay.
So I became known as Duncan's brother because he was known and as an artist and a PE boy, and I was new to town, and I was nameless except for Duncan's brother. Yeah, I think the playing field has leveled a bit, and I'm now in Gino's spot before him.
You are your own man now. You're your own man,
and I'm so chuffed.
And now tell me, so I will normally start off by checking where you are at the moment. What your daily life at the moment. I know you've been involved in tourism. You're still in eventing. I know there's always like carpets and things being set up and logistics. I mean, that's your thing.
Yeah, I'm actually the least glamorous of all the people in eventing. I'm like the lower than chocolate supplier.
Okay.
I'll come in there. I'm the guy that you phone to bring in equipment.
Okay.
And so I don't get to see the important people. I don't get to rub shoulders with the important people.
Right.
I come in there. I put my carpets in. I put my equipment in. My shell scheme. My booths. My expo stands.
Hang on. Just tell us what this is. Shell schemes.
So
Guys,
in a nutshell, shell scheme. I don't know. I still to this day, after 25, 30 odd years in this industry, why it's called shell scheme.
Okay.
I'll come back to you on that one.
Yes.
But it's the infrastructure that we use to build exhibition booths. So all those little cubicles.
Yes.
3 meter by 3 meter cubicles with a little name on the top. What we call the fascia.
Oh, the fascia.
Fascia board.
Nice.
So we have it's a cubicle with a fascia, lighting, plug point, white walls, and there's various configurations. That is generically known as shell scheme. Okay, so
then you give those cubicles, and then all the expo exhibitors would then use those as the basis.
The expo guys then use that as their demonstration area, or they can then put their products in there or their services.
All right.
And so that's our core business. But then obviously we offer more to those people moving into the cubicles.
Right.
And that's where it starts to get interesting. And that's where I think this industry has grabbed me a bit, because every client, I mean, I've done exhibitions with my Joburg days when I was doing exhibitions in Joburg for we had a pet psychologist expo.
expo for pet psychologists.
Yeah, I mean, there's
It's not
nothing,
like one pet psychologist. It's like a whole pile of them.
and there's add-on products for pet psychologists. Who knew?
Bells,
Yeah,
man.
so, I mean, you can have, I think Sexpo is on the go at the moment
Yes.
in Joburg.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Nothing's taboo.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
have an expo about anything.
Do you have to clean that off afterwards?
Probably.
Okay. Do you just hold it? Do you just
I'm not
hose?
sure what you're feeding off the use.
Just hose it all down.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure it's all very clean.
So, yeah, no, I mean, so there's...
Certainly well lubricated when you get it back.
Exactly. And so coming down to PE was quite an education because there are so many expos in Johannesburg around every topic. And then down here, you're a little bit limited.
Yeah.
But you mix it up with some conferences and some other events, and it's quite a niche market.
Yeah.
And not many people do it. It's myself and another crowd.
Yeah.
But we look after the entire Eastern Cape, and my daily job right now, starting at the beginning, is running this little business which we started, I think, 14 years ago now.
Okay.
And it's been running for 14 years. I'm a bit of a below the radar kind of guy. I like to come in, put up my equipment, and get out. I haven't done a lot of out there marketing, advertising. I'm probably more word of mouth.
You're not the blasé kind of guy.
I don't like to go and put on the radio that this is what I'm doing.
Yes.
So it's worked well, and
Well,
he's been kind to us.
I think it's a kind of, it's the kind of person I love to have on the show here, doing the show. But it's the guys that just got their head down. They're not looking for any glory here. You're just working.
I need to get by.
Yeah. You gotta do your job and do it well, you know.
Yeah.
But your reputation precedes you. I've heard so many things. Whenever it's an exhibition on, it's Andrews somewhere. You're always around.
Yeah, I
you
feel
know.
like that sometimes as
So,
well.
yeah.
But I mean, a lot of people do in this town. You have to be a little bit jack of all and master of none. So we take on everything that we can, and I am. I mean, and then to add to that, you know, I'm a bit of I find it very difficult often to say no.
Oh right, yes.
I'm at my advanced age. I still haven't learned the skill of saying no.
Yeah.
So I take on things that I probably shouldn't take on.
Okay.
And I've got involved in so many things. I mean, we were chatting just now. I mean, I even touched on politics during COVID.
Yes.
I touched. I
Yes.
didn't get involved. I would say I didn't even want to get involved, but I felt like something had to happen. So
I believe Kusta got you on the train.
Krista got me into the Ubuntu integrity movement during COVID. I was feeling desperate for the city, and I couldn't see any of the parties making a difference. And then I met with Kusta via Gary Kukumur.
Yes, okay,
and,
Gary.
I like the fresh approach.
Does Gary swim with you? Because I know you do the swimming in the mornings. I've seen Gary doing the swimming.
Gary and I, I'm not swimming as much as I should now, but that's our sort of regular meeting spot.
Okay. All right.
And then he and I, going back again,
Yeah.
got together when we were protesting against the fish farm. So the first fish farm protest I organised in 2014.
Okay.
And I spoke to Mike Zoetmulder and I said, can I use your bellboy challenge
Yeah.
as a platform?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know how much time we got, but I've got a story.
Yeah, okay, bring it on. Let's have it. Tell me about the fish farm first of all. What is that story about? Because I don't see anything in the papers anymore.
It's gone away, but it's not completely, it's not gone completely. It's part of that Operation Pakisa Oceans Economy.
Okay.
They were going to create these fin fish farms with these big circular cages just off our beaches. They're just near the bellboy. Put these massive circular cages and put tuna or whatever fin fish inside there. It's wrong on many levels, although it sort of reeked of corruption and
tender.
So, but that wasn't my problem. My problem was I'm an open water swimmer, and I don't want anybody destroying open water facilities we have and the cleanliness and the beauty of our beaches. So it was a little bit of like, don't mess with my space.
Yes.
And that's when Gary came in, because he told me it's not about me. I must look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
It's about the whole of PE.
All right.
And that's when I started going, actually, you're right. It's not just about us oaks. So
you got all the mic.
So I got on the mic and I said, listen, I need to do a protest, but I don't know how to do a protest. Never done a protest.
Protest. And you just hold placards.
So you hold black cards. So
Yeah.
I got people donated large amounts of material. We got flags made. It was a green expo, so I made all the flags green.
Okay.
We got stickers sponsored. We got people involved. I went on Darren Mann's show.
Yeah.
He was in the morning show there. And I told them what was happening.
At the time, he was with
And all of that
Man-Made Radio.
it was going lekker. And then I got a call to go to a meeting in Joburg on the day that I was going to swim the bellboy. And I couldn't get out of it. So I said to my boy Dunks and a mate, I said, I've got this massive banner I've made, and I was going to have photographs taken at the bellboy.
Yes.
No fish from here. But I need to be at the bellboy. But I'm not going to be here. So can we paddle out on the Friday before the bellboy swim?
Take photos.
And take photos.
Yes.
No problem. Duncan's going to paddle his boat. Dave Paddle and myself, we're going to paddle this boat. We're going to have pictures taken.
Surf ski.
Yeah, I'm on a kayak. Duncan's on a surf ski.
Okay.
We get halfway out, but it's after work. It's 6 o'clock. It's getting dark.
Getting dark.
It's getting a little windy. It's a bit chillos, but not serious. My kayak starts to take on water.
No.
So I think, well, we're halfway there.
Yeah.
We're in for a penny for a pound. Let's get there, take the pictures, and we'll deal with the consequences.
Kayak.
So about 400 meters before the bellboy, the kayak starts to sink. So only Dave can paddle. Now Dave's paddling, I'm swimming.
Oh, my soul.
It's getting darker. Duncan's paddling next to me. We get to the bellboy, now it's windy, and we're trying to hold this banner up, and Duncan's taking pictures with his phone, and the whole thing is a bit chaotic. Now we've got to get back. It's still 2.5 k's back. And I'm trying to drag this kayak with Dave.
Holy crap.
And I'm
You
used
couldn't
to cold
empty
water.
it? Oh,
No.
you can't, you
And I'm
can't.
used to cold water, so I can handle a bit of cold water.
Oh, yeah.
Dave's turning a bit blue. I said to Dunks, I said, I don't know at what point does it become a rescue? Like, how do we know that we're in trouble here? Are we,
In SRI.
or do we phone them? And
Yeah,
is there a
Sean.
Yeah, is there a cost? You know, like if you phone them and they rescue you, are they going to
Yeah,
pull you?
sure, Because I'd rather be closer to death than have to pay.
Dave's the only one in trouble. Dunks and myself are like, Dunks in a canoe and I can swim back. So Dunks phones the NSRI and the first thing he says is, do you charge? so Dunks, they say no. What's the problem? They said no. We at the bellboy. It's getting dark. It's getting cold, and we got a sinking kayak. Okay, we'll send a boat. So 45 minutes later, Station 6 or whatever it was, send this massive boat
Oh, my
over the
God.
waves, and they pick us up. And they pick up the boat and they put us on the boat, and instead of going back to harbour, they drop us at the beach
Oh,
and let us swim in. And then there's the land-based NSRI guy taking down our details.
Oh, dear.
Yeah,
Banking details.
Two men aged 40 plus, whatever, rescued from the bellboy.
Yes.
I kid you not, I couldn't have written the script because the next news bulletin on Algoa FM and for the next 24 hours broadcast 2 men rescued from the bellboy protesting against the fish farm.
Yes.
Thank you.
What perfect.
But it worked out perfectly. And then the real piece de resistance was next week after all this publicity and the protest went ahead and was successful.
Okay.
Next week I said to Dunks, I said, I forgot about those photographs you took of the banner.
Yes.
He says, yes, I took some photographs, Wax, but you don't want to see them. I said, why? He says, you wrote no fish farm here. He says, the flag folded over and it says fish farm here. Every picture of his says fish farm with a little arrow.
Oh, dear. That's classic.
So it was a comedy of errors, and it got the message across by default.
It did.
But, so that was my first one, and then
Very nice.
That was, I don't know, 2010, and then 2014 it reared its head again, and they were going to come back and put fish farms again.
Okay.
So Gary Cookham and myself organised a really nice, successful, and
Yeah. I know the surfers were
yeah,
against
it was a massive one, and it went down really well, and I think it helped the cause. But they're still talking about finfish farms out at New Brighton side near the Kuko Harbour, and then they're also talking about bivalve, which is your oysters and mussels off Hobie.
Which
Which
is
is not the
in
same,
the sea doesn't
but
seem like a good plan.
No, it's not the. And it's an eyesore, and it potentially causes other problems. as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the surfers are saying that it's going to attract the sharks as well.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
So
Yeah.
there were all these messages that we were trying to get across, and so far, I mean, so that started this nonsense of getting involved in civil society. And
Yes.
I didn't mean to.
Yes.
I was just wanting to stop them putting a fish farm in my swimming route.
Yeah.
And
Because it's like, who was protesting? Oh, it was Andrew Stewart. He was doing that.
yeah.
That's so
and then
true.
Gary would say, "Hey, you're a greenie, or you're
Yeah.
a protester."
Yeah.
I said, no, it's not me.
Yeah.
And he said, "No, you've got yourself involved. Now. I
Exactly.
need you for the next one." And then I got involved with an Arlington action group to try and stop this burning of the fires, because living in Skoonies we get the toxic smoke of the
burning
Arlington.
tip.
And so we started an action group, myself and two other guys,
Okay.
and we gave them horns there, and we had,
Okay.
the councillors come and meet us, and
Okay.
so yeah, and
Good.
then all of that turned into, well, why don't you stand for
Election.
during the local elections? Why don't you
Yeah.
stand for the Ward 1?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I've got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
COVID pretty much ended my business, you know. It's
Yeah, for sure.
During 2 years, it was a non-business.
Yeah,
There was, you know, that's restaurants and things and exhibitions you don't want to be in during COVID.
No. And neither with music either. You don't want to be there either.
Hello.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I get you. I know exactly where you
So
were.
I was at a loose end, and
Okay.
Gary approached me, and I was like,
Okay.
okay, well, until COVID goes away completely, let me put
Let's
my
do
hand
it.
up and become a counsellor.
Okay.
But I wasn't ever going to take the DA out of
Yes,
one.
yes, I
I knew
see,
it.
okay.
It was more just
Yeah, just
nailing my colours to the flag.
Just like, here we go. Check this out. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
I've got some comments over here. Let's have a look. Dave Leverington says, greetings, Gino, and from the Red Sea Film Festival. Oh, my soul. There was another event.
Can you just stop travelling for a second? Mr.
Jeez,
Leverington?
like, hey, how's that? That is amazing. David is doing some amazing things there.
Yeah,
I've had him on as well. And Denzel Naidu, how's it, Denzel from Spa?
Denzel.
I know Denzel, legend.
All
I
the
saw him
Spa.
at the show the other night.
Yeah.
Gareth Burley. Hello, Gareth. Where's the Speedo? He says.
Yeah, no, we don't discuss speedos on public platforms there, Gareth.
You know, Gareth is an absolute legend. Such a pro.
No,
Such a pro.
He's a top oak.
And Expo booth is often referred to as shells because of the modular frame network used to construct it.
Getting all technical. with
Prefab
that.
standard out. Oh, he's just flipping cut and paste that from a thing.
David.
But yes, you're quite right, David.
Yeah.
I think you are. And so I mean, you know, you meet all these people because you're in that events thing, and it is quite a small industry, I suppose, in terms of PE.
It's small nationally. I mean, I knew all the exhibition conferencing guys in Joburg
As
in
well.
Cape Town. And then you move to PE, and then
Yeah.
it's like a microcosm. of
Yes.
that. So it's what was the most challenging exhibition setup you worked on?
Yeah, so the most challenging exhibition setup you've ever worked on. What would you say? What did you say? Can you remember one? Big.
May have been one of the last ones I've done. And it was at the boardwalk now.
Yeah.
It was during that massive blackout.
Oh.
You know, we had that power out, the whole of PE went out.
Yes,
The pylons
yes.
fell over.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
We had a huge international conference.
Yeah. Oh wow.
It was a dermatology conference with international speakers.
Okay.
And shame the organizer from Bloemfontein had convinced all the derma people that PE was the right place.
Oh shit.
And so we had a bit of a tough one because
Jeez.
I think night one there was a stabbing incident.
Oh Lord, on the beachfront.
Yeah. Then there was no power the next day.
Oh God.
Then our dear friend's boardwalk's backup generator packed up.
Oh no. Ay.
And the whole thing is, the whole Congress just comes to a standstill. So
Yeah.
you need to do something. And this is where I think people say, but don't you stress? I say, you know what? When you're in the moment, you don't stress. You make a plan.
Yeah.
Because it literally took a phone call to somebody with a big generator.
Warren Dickey, someone like that.
Yeah, and we just pulled that in, and
Wow.
an hour and a half later,
Yeah.
everybody was up and running, and the show carried on. But there was a number of challenges there. But I mean, that was one of my trickier ones. I mean, I've done shows in Joburg at Nasric where we didn't sleep for like 3 nights You were basically working day and night setting up exhibition
Who
stands.
pays for the generator? Gary wants to know who's paying for the generator. The
It's a
boardwalk.
taxi subject.
I'm sure. It's like, who gets to go? Come on, we're just going to go on in. Go
Yeah,
good. Then
No,
everybody-
so but I've done. I mean, prior to coming to Port Elizabeth in 2007, I was in the exhibition industry in Joburg for 10 years,
Okay.
and we did all the big shows at Nasrec, and I mean, I kid you not, there are companies that easily spend upwards, and this is I'm talking 25 years ago,
Yeah.
upwards of R1 million per exhibition stand.
Yo.
Like they would come to us and say, build us, and it's a 6 meter by 10 meter exhibition stand, and it's a double deck, and they want a bar in it, and a flushing toilet, and an ATM in this corner, and it literally
soul.
cost like $1 million. And you had to deliver that. It's unlike shop fitting where you've got, maybe you can call the oak and say, listen, we're only going to finish in a week's time.
Yeah.
Just we're not going to have the opening on the day.
Yeah.
The expo starts on that day,
Yo.
and
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
have a choice but to
It's got to be
get ready
done.
for the client.
Yeah.
So there were times when things didn't go our way, and the vinyl kept peeling off, or
Aye, aye,
the
aye.
lighting wasn't right,
Yeah.
or something went wrong with the carpets, and we built these bespoke, custom-built stands that were magnificent. But I think if I ever die at an early age, it's because of those.
Because of those ones.
I can figure out this shell scheme. What we do here is
Yeah.
manageable.
Yeah.
It's that when you
that
stick
custom stuff.
when you stick your neck out and you
Okay, you say,
and
okay.
the client says, I want sky hooks, and you go, okay,
Wow.
we can do anything.
Yeah, we can drag a
We can
blank.
hang anything from anywhere. It doesn't
It's not
matter.
floating around. You're like,
we'll do
because
it.
you have to source the stuff in the
Yeah.
end, so you need to know where to find it. Because
Yeah.
that's the thing. You need that.
So, and in the early days, when you're young, you're brave, and you
Yes.
say, of course,
Good,
we can do
absolutely,
anything. We can do
absolutely.
anything for you, and you do.
You need what?
One of my clients, I remember,
Yeah.
I was doing a stand for Airports Company,
Yeah.
and they said the stand's going to be in Auckland, and I've been living in Joburg. I thought that's Auckland.
Auckland Park.
So I said, okay, that's fine. Get back to my office, and she says, how are we going to transport the artifacts that you want to put on the stand to Auckland? I said, no, we'll just use our bakkie. She says, it's Auckland, New Zealand. I said, okay, give me a moment. I'm going to rework this quote.
Yeah. Let me work this guy. Okay, I've got the quote for. Oh no, wait, I haven't. There we go. And Andrew in Wonderland who trips down holes and fixes and makes things better, mixing with that bad queen who bashes drums. Let me drink it. I think you've already had some of that red wine, Stapes. What a legend. Oh, there's Natasha. Natasha's got the new selfie museum. Is that right?
Yes.
And I see Mimi Rupp as well, also online. How's it, Mimi? Nice to see you.
How's it?
Two
Mimi?
cool guys, not the couch.
Not the
Yes,
couch.
we got these cool chairs. Do you like them?
Yes.
Just see my cool chairs, eh? Look at them, eh? You like them, eh? They're nice. They've got
The velvet.
The velvet. And
velvet chairs.
It's our new things. And then I've got the little table from Igoti.
Yes, I've got
The goatee ones.
I've got 3 bar stools from
Yeah, aren't they amazing? This is
they're
this
very
is Margot Saunders. She does these amazing tops, and she can do it with anything. She can make
Make
if you
anything look
yeah,
new and fresh.
if you've got an old one, then
Yeah.
and you get it
Yeah.
recovered. I mean, look at that. That's beautiful. Beautiful. The lovely,
Stunning, man.
lovely thing here.
Is that no? That's not shwe shwe.
No, it's a goatee.
No.
The actual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
good.
Moshwe. That must be from the Lesotho. Moshwe.
Right.
Moshwe was the king, the Basotho king.
That's right. But there's also
Double
a
basil.
pattern called shwe shwe.
I'm sure it must be
It's that,
the cultural pattern is lovely.
Yeah, no. So
Yeah.
that's you started off by asking me what I do daily.
Yes, now we ended up with
That's what I do
daily.
I cause myself headaches.
And now if we go back let's go back in the history. But where were you born and bred? You went from PE originally.
Excuse me.
You've just built yourself into the PE fibre.
Yeah, I was saying earlier that I feel disadvantaged because I don't have a history in PE, and everybody else seems to have a history. And they all talk about the places that they partied at, and they,
Yes.
and I went to Limelight in Pretoria.
Oh yes, it was a different
It
limelight.
was a very different Limelight. So I actually come from a very small town, and I mean people laugh when they say where are you from? I say Zanin.
A Zanin.
Oh, Tabazimbi. I said,
No,
no,
Zanin.
not Tabazimbi, Zanin.
Zanin.
And Zanin is, for those that don't know, between the old Petersburg and Palaborva, which was the Kruger Park.
Up north.
Far northern Transvaal.
Close
and
to Zimbabwe.
Border.
Close to Zimbabwe.
Exactly. In a very hot part of the world, in like, I think Zanin, the word Zanin means bread basket.
Okay.
So it's mangoes, avos, lychees, bananas.
Gee whiz.
And that's the
How does
area.
it grow there? Whether if you say this,
Hot
it's
and
hot.
humid.
Oh, hot and humid.
Yeah,
it's
it's tropical.
Okay,
And so
wow.
we grew up there. And then I went to, because Zanin didn't have an English high school, we were given...
in the city. So what were your folks doing then?
No, my dad was a
The farm.
procurator.
A procurator.
He was,
yes,
he was the only English attorney in Zanin.
Stewart procurator.
And it's a funny story because I blame him for me not getting my driver's license.
Wow.
There was an English Afrikaans barrier
Oh,
in the small town of Zanin.
yes.
And the Afrikaans testers of the licenses didn't like the Englisman.
Yeah. So you
I
battled and
still
battled.
believe it was my English heritage that made me fail 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
So I grew up in Zanin, primary school, went to Pretoria Boys because that's the closest, well, not the closest, but it's my dad went to boarding school and he wanted us to go to, and he said to us, you can go to Potch Boys or you can go to Pretoria Boys. And Potch was another hour and a half further, so I said, no, we'll
Go closer.
So Pretoria Boys it was.
And boarding school, all right. What do you think? What are your views on that? I mean,
I went because my older brother had survived and he had made it work for him, and I was too chicken to say no.
Okay.
If he hadn't gone before, I might have copped out in the first year because I wasn't having fun.
Okay.
But Bruce had made it, so you know what, stick it out.
Stick it out.
After first year, then it's fine.
All right.
Yeah. Then at 7, 8, so 7 to matric was 100%. And then from there, I managed to defer my intake to the course because they called you up.
What was your matric year then?
86.
86, okay, 2 years older than me.
1986. And I got a call up, but at the same time I had applied to do a Rotary exchange year. So I went over to the States.
Oh, United
to
States.
Michigan.
Okay. Detroit.
Not close, not far from Detroit. Like about an hour and a half from Detroit. Right. Slap bang in the middle, if you can imagine.
It's the Great Lakes.
Yeah. And so I had an incredibly good Rotary exchange year.
Okay.
And then came back. Yeah.
Did you stay with the family? How's it work?
Yeah, 3 different families. So I had 3 families, and the first one was 3 very different families. The first one was a blue-collar worker who worked on the Detroit motor lines and had 3 sons and lived in a small house, and everybody shared everything. It was hard, hard, but loving people. Yeah. My next family was a Methodist minister with 3 small kids. Ooh. Very different scenario.
Quite strict.
Very strict. Also, very lovely people.
Yeah.
So I went very different scenarios. Yeah. My last family, they own the what they call the drugstore, the pharmacy.
Okay, the drugstore. The Americans are the drugstore.
They owned the drugstore, and money wasn't a problem. So they used to give me money and opportunities rather than spend time with me. But lovely people.
Yeah.
But very different to the first 2 families. So I had a cross section of the most incredible people, sort of tutor me, guide me, and I was able to see, I think, about 38 of the states.
Gee, so you did a proper tour.
A lot of traveling.
Did you to fly everywhere?
Buses, boats.
I always think American buses is always like the tour bus, you know. Bands.
I flew on the organized tours. We went on buses, and then on the non-organized tours, I managed to hook rides and go fly with mates and do whatever. So that was it was a fantastic year. And then you want to talk about getting brought down to earth with a bang. So I get back like 23rd of December. My call up
2 days before Christmas.
Yeah, and I've got like 2 or 3 weeks and before I enter Air Force Base Valhalla as a troop.
Eish.
So I've been treated like gold for a year.
Yes.
As an exchange student. I think I'm the man.
Yeah.
And then I get told, "Troep, yes,
guys, army tours."
So it was a bit of a.
Yeah. So you did army.
I probably needed it.
Yeah.
You know, I probably needed to come down to earth. And I did 2 years. I was the last schmuck.
Last 2 year thing.
The last intake to do 2 full years.
Yeah, that must have been 1990 or 89.
1989. Yeah.
89, 90, yeah.
86.
Because it went from 1 year to 2 years
it was
and then back
88
again.
It was 88 and 89.
Yeah.
So I went in 88 January and finished 89. And that was hard.
Yeah.
But then I also make the best of every situation.
Yeah.
So once I finished basics, they sent us to the border, and actually, that's where you want to be.
Because nothing happening there. It was nothing there.
There was nothing there.
Yeah, nothing's happening. Yeah.
It's a jewel.
Yeah.
I learned how to smoke.
Okay. I'm sure you did.
And it was, that's where all the nonsense really started.
Okay. Yeah, because at that stage the war was wind down. All but done. And because that was my matric year, it was 88, and then I remember also dodging until I didn't have to.
Just batting it off.
Yeah, I batted it off. I managed to bat it off for good. But it's like it's a crazy time because you know, having all these guys going in the army as well, you know, and looking back, it's like, what for, you know? What a crazy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm a half glass, half full glass, or versus a half glass, right? I remember looking at every situation. I mean, I upset my PTI instructor so much because I kept laughing. I smiled and laughed at everything to the point where he said he was going to claw me on, and I said, for laughing. But it was like a coping mechanism. But I remember basic training being it's this ridiculous time because I was in a bungalow with 12 guys. The one guy had a standard 7, and the other guy had 7 distinctions.
Yeah. It's this total mix.
Afrikaans, Portuguese, English, Santi,
everything
in one bungalow.
Yeah.
And if you don't work together, you get daunted by your PTI. He says, you know, we will do PT until you guys learn to work together. And I'm thinking, there's a guy, he can barely walk, never mind march.
Yeah.
How are we going to do that?
Gotta make a plan.
Yeah, so you know, everything in life is a lesson.
Yeah. I see Brendan Kelly coming on here saying I loved Sanine. He used to race F1 boats in the dam.
Yeah, Sanine Dam.
So it's such a big hollow, it was virtually at sea level. She was that deep.
Now listen, I mean, the Zanine is in a valley, and the Zanine Dam, the Fani Buerta Dam, as it was known back in the day, was massive. It was like its tentacles just went into all these it probably had a dam. I don't know, shoreline.
On each,
as big as an island, because it just went everywhere. But you know, that's during the good times, and then I've seen it in the drought, and it just looks like a big mud pit.
Is it? But that's so he's raced Formula 1 boats over there. Gee was.
And I remember in the old days when we were pickies watching the Oaks racing. Thinking, these Oaks are mild.
Yeah. What is the name of the dam again?
It was the Fani
Buerta Dam. Yes, sir. I like that you know all these little spots. Where did you? I mean, the surrounding area there. Because I mean, I would never think. I would have thought that place was dry as hell.
Yeah, it is. I mean.
But it's in a valley.
I can't use this word. Yeah, I can't use. I had a friend from Joburg who came up to Zanine once, and he said, "If I come in the bush, a baby will grow." Because it's so fertile.
It's so fertile.
Everything. I promise you, if you can't garden in Zanine, you're an idiot. It's like everything grows.
Okay.
Like you just look at stuff and you can see it grow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's tropical. It's got a lot of rain, a lot of heat.
Because I'm sure Palabora is dry as hell. Is it?
Yeah, Palabora. Now so we're on the edge of the escarpment. So that's
okay.
where we catch all the rain and everything.
Okay.
Palabora, it's the start of the proper low fall.
Okay.
And that's when it starts getting dry.
Properly
dry.
Hectic. And so Natasha says she loves my chairs. Thank you, Natasha. I love them as well.
They're quite comfortable.
Yeah. Okay, so after army, then did you go and study, or I mean, what did you do?
I effectively wasted my folks' money.
Oh, did you waste it a bit?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do, and I'd been accepted to do a BCom at UCT.
Oh.
And I went off to UCT to do my BCom.
Yes.
After 1 year on rotary exchange, 2 years in the Air Force, and lots of experience. And I thought, well, how difficult
Come
can
on.
a BCom be?
BCom.
I get
That's
to my
tough, eh?
first Stats 101 lecture.
Oh, stats is just
Now,
so.
I don't know
oh,
if you remember, but we used algorithm books.
Yeah. You got massive flipping
And you had to do
Yeah.
your cosine.
formulas.
whatever,
Yeah.
So I get to first year stats, and the lecturer says to 200 students, "You all understand calculus."
Yeah.
And I'm going, "Who's calculus?" And
Is
when
that
did, when did he come on the
Is that Oak used to do pop shop? He used to calculus.
That's it. So I remember thinking, well, this is an unfair advantage. They all know calculus,
Yeah.
but I'm 3 years out of school and I don't know calculus. Anyway, that should have been the writing on the wall because
Yeah.
I lasted about half a year. And then I went to careers guidance guy. I said, dude, I'm out of my depth here.
Yeah.
I need to change my course because
Yeah.
my folks are paying for 3 years and I need to make something out of it, just 3 years.
Yeah.
So he said, no, you are not BCom material.
Okay.
He says, I'm not sure what material you are, but
Okay.
you are BCom.
And so did you go elsewhere after
No,
that?
so I stayed at UCT and I changed my courses sufficiently that I finished off with a BA in history.
Oh, okay.
A
There we
bugger all
go.
in history.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I had one more year of industrial psychology to get my BSoc science, industrial psych.
Okay.
But I decided after 3 years I needed to go overseas again.
Yes.
So I binned the whole thing and went traveling in the
Oh
UK.
my soul.
So I haven't been a very steady.
No, that's right. But industrial psychology was quite interesting, but it gets to the point where you're like, listen, are you really going to do this?
Yeah. I'm not going to use it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Cape Town, UCT was fantastic. We were still in those days when we used to toboggan down Jamie Stairs and they had rag races and they had bummies. People, we dressed up and marched down Adelaide Street.
Yes.
Very, very drunk.
Yes, with the
With nappies on.
and the big floats and things.
Floats and things, rag procession.
Yeah, wasn't that fun?
It was.
Do they still do that?
No.
They don't do floats anymore.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was supposedly for a good cause,
Yeah.
raising money, but I think
Just to get drunk.
a lot of students used it for nefarious purposes. Yeah.
It's like not Rotary, it's round tables. Round tables.
Show me a round table.
They get a big booze bill, but they do raise money.
Well, that's probably maybe a good thing that I haven't joined a round table. That might have been the end of the
It's hectic. Okay, so then let's say a little bit of studies, and then what? I mean, what was your first job? Where did you?
So I travelled for a year overseas, and then I
Europe or?
Yeah, Europe. Mostly UK, with a few European.
Any good stories about your trips?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I got drunk one night, I leapfrogged down the high street, and landed up with my shoulder out of socket.
Oh no.
So I had to go to St Mary's Hospital. All I remember was the doctor saying, "Don't worry about the drugs. He's drunk enough." And he pulled my arm. He took his shoe off, and he had Mickey Mouse socks on. And he put it under my armpit and pulled my arm and pushed it back into place. And I was like, I deserved that.
Yes.
And that was that. And then I couldn't find a job. Then the only job I could find was being a ship hand in Manchester. I went to Manchester, and it was on the replica of Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind.
Yes, the Golden Hind.
Yes.
You would first trip around the world.
Yes, and I then worked on this very authentic replica of the Golden Hind in Salford Quays in Manchester,
Salford.
dressed in Elizabethan tights.
With a big thing around your
Yes, yeah.
Did you have one of those
taking school tours.
things around your head?
Yeah, we had to scratch the ice off in the mornings, keep the Manchester United Yobbos off the boat
Get off
during
there.
the day, and then take school tours in the afternoons.
Okay.
That was fascinating. And then
So you were an actor, really?
yeah, and then I ran out of jobs and money, and then I met up with a mate who was doing drug trials.
Now that's a great plan, and
And
let's put my body on the line for a bit of cash.
let me tell you, £2,000 in 1991 was a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. But then what they're putting in your body?
They were testing. My mom would probably die if she heard this. They were testing for a and tea to help you get over jet lag.
Oh,
So it was a
okay.
jet lag drug.
Okay.
And I don't know if I got the placebo or not. Anyway, the long and the
Okay.
short of it is that I walked out of there 10 days later feeling no different. I've got a twitch now, but I'm
And you had 2,000 pounds.
and I had 2,000 pounds. I walk into a friend from UCT. She says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I don't know, but I've got 2,000 pounds." She says, and this is what I love about traveling.
Yeah.
She says, "Well, her and I forget Karen, whatever her name is, they're going to Turkey this evening, and they're going to be there for about a month. Do I want to join them?" So I said, "It's a bit late now to get a ticket, but where are you going to be on Sunday, 3 days hence?" She said, "Well, we're going to be in a small town called Ula Denise. We'll meet you at the bar at the end of the beach
Yeah.
at 12 o'clock next Sunday." I said, "Okay, go there. I'm either there or not."
Yeah.
I went and organised a ticket. I called a flight, a bus. I got there at like 5 to 12.
Yeah.
Got to the beach, got to the bar at the end of the beach. Nobody there.
No one there.
I thought, oh, this is going to be terrible. But walking back to my accommodation, there, behold, were my two friends.
No ways.
And we continued to travel through the entire Turkey for a month.
Yes.
And it was fantastic. You know,
Jesus.
that you could make decisions.
Yeah.
Nothing mattered.
At that age.
You literally thought, well, do I feel like going? No. Don't I feel like no? Just
2,000
whatever you-
pounds?
Yeah, 2,000 pounds. I'll go.
So I'm rich.
So I've not my older brother who's a financier
Yes.
and careful with money.
Yeah.
Often looks at me and goes,
Shakes his head. Oh, yeah.
because you know I've got a nickname,
Yeah.
Wax.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Wacky.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
was
wax.
christened Andrew.
Okay.
But I've been known as Wacky,
Okay,
pretty much
Wacky.
since the age of about 6 or 7.
Okay.
And I can't get into too much about that.
Yeah.
It's about a radio program about a bear. Or something.
Okay,
But
okay.
anyway, the long and the short of it is I've been called Wacky all my life, and I find it quite strange because I don't answer well to Andrew.
Yeah.
I do respond because it's my name. but
Yes, yes.
I feel in between a Wacky
like
and
Wax.
Andrew. Wax.
Wax is the way to go.
Oh, so
Well, there we go.
that might explain a few.
Rika Yonka says, good evening, good evening. You know,
Rika.
Rika. How's it, Rika? Good evening to you as well.
How's
She's
it,
got
Rika?
those glasses on there. I can see the eyes. The eyes. She's got wide eyes there.
Yeah.
And it's so lovely. People are all over the place there when I look, you know.
Coming out the woodwork.
Yes, I know. And okay, so
So that was my
trip-
overseas trip. I mean, there was another story, but I'm not going to. That's maybe for another time.
Okay, and then it's from Cape Town. So did you work in Cape Town?
So then I came back from overseas, and I was going to stay with my brother for a weekend, and then go back down to Cape Town and find a job.
Okay.
In something.
Where's your brother in Joburg?
In Joburg. And
Okay.
in that weekend of visiting him, I bumped into a schoolmate who said, "What am I doing?" I said, "Well, I'm on my way to Cape Town to earn my living."
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, he's got a job." I said, "Well, I hate Joburg. I don't want to live in Joburg."
Yeah.
He said, "Well, it's a really good job." I said, "What is it?" He said, "No, it's selling property in Midrand." He said it's a off-plan agency position.
Yeah.
You don't have to have your estate agent's license.
Oh,
yet.
okay, yeah,
You can
yeah,
get
it
that
makes it
down the
easier.
line. He said they're earning massive commissions, and I'm
Okay.
like, I get sucked in by things.
Yes.
I'm not good at saying no. So I ended up spending a year and a half, 2 years selling property in Midrand.
Yeah. Okay.
In a very strange time of our history, so it was over the 94 first
Yes.
independent elections. So the build-up to the elections, there were very few sales, and I was like, well, this is not really going to work for me.
Yeah.
The elections came and went, and there was that immediate euphoria about the Rainbow Nation.
Yes.
And then I printed money.
Really. Yeah.
Everybody bought.
Wow.
Everybody was like, okay, no civil war.
Yes,
let's
off
buy
we
a
go.
house in Midrand
Yes.
in a Georgian-styled estate.
Jeez.
And I learned then that estate agents aren't the mukhus that you think they are.
Yeah.
They actually work.
Work hard,
they
yeah.
work
No,
hard.
they have
and
to.
they actually are your psychologist, your plumber, your
Yeah.
photographer, your everything. Yeah. So I
those
did that
people
for
don't
a couple of years. Then I worked in an information.
Did you get your whole thing for the thing
Then
as well?
eventually I
Then?
got the whole
Okay,
thing,
all your
but then
studies.
I decided I didn't want to be an estate agent for
Yeah.
the rest of my life. So I went and tried a few other things.
Okay.
And that's what eventually led to answering an advert for a job at a company called Scan Display in Johannesburg.
Scan Display.
Yeah, it was a father.
It wasn't
and son.
really a bay in Johannesburg.
No.
More of a bay window.
Exactly. So they started a company. Well, they had a company that worked within the granite business, and they had seen this exhibition equipment in the UK, and had brought out these little samples of these little pop-ups and pull-ups and things, and they wanted to get that off the ground.
Okay.
So they employed myself and 2 others. The other 2 were fired for various reasons. And then they said to me,
Well, you're the one left.
what am I doing here? I said,
You at least, the bar's pretty low. You at least don't steal.
No, I've got a clean record-ish.
No jail time.
No jail time. So I said to them, well, I'll make it worth my while. You know, at the moment you're paying me business, and I know that this particular product was quite revolutionary. It was the first, those roll-up banners.
Yeah. Like these.
Like these.
Yeah.
It was before they were in our country. We were the first ones in Joburg to have these. And those pop-up
94.
And when people saw them, I mean, BMW, we used to sell one of those.
Yeah.
And that's for 6,500 rand.
Jeez, like.
Because nobody had them.
Yes.
And BMW would come to us and order like 240.
Jeez.
It was like
Wow.
ridiculous.
Holy moly.
So we started. I started doing just portable exhibition equipment.
Okay.
And then Scan Display grew and grew and grew and grew and grew, and I would have to say one of the biggest exhibition companies in the country now.
Okay.
And I was a partner up until 2007, and during the years of Scan Display, I met my Joburg wife.
Yes.
Joburg born and bred.
Yes.
And I knew I was in for a tough time because I had to get her out because I had no intentions of ever living in Joburg.
Okay, so you always had this thing always.
I'm here for a bit and then I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
But I married Jules, and the funny thing is, how weird is this?
Yeah.
We came down on holiday because my sister was living here, and I knew I had one holiday to propose. Like, I had a ring and a little bottle of champagne.
Oh, my soul.
The whole holiday.
Okay.
And I don't know PE.
You kept it.
I kept it hidden somewhere.
In the champagne. How do you hide a champagne?
And the whole holiday, I had this like itch. I'm not going back to Joburg without having asked her to marry me.
Okay.
The last day comes.
Pressure.
And the only place that I know that's relatively romantic was Scoonies with its cliff tops. So I went to the Cannon.
Yes. Oh, right. Well, that says a lot.
I like my history.
That's your history. You're trying to tell us something about yourself.
I've never thought about it like that.
You can thank me later.
I will. I didn't actually know how to do the one knee thing, so I cocked that up. Anyway, I proposed, and she came back with a counter offer immediately. Like she didn't even hesitate.
Oh, really?
Yes, but.
But. Yes.
Anyway, she said yes, but can we wait a bit before we have children because I need to travel. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I said, but now that we're throwing out conditions, I can't live in Joburg. So that was my.
So she gave you a good thing there.
I gave me an angle.
Gave you an angle there.
And then, how bizarre is that? So I didn't know that probably 9 years later, we'd be living in
PE. In Scoonies as well.
Yeah. We got engaged.
Near the Cannon.
Near the Cannon.
Well, look, my wife is super jealous at the moment because she loves Scoonies and she would love to live there as well because she got to see the sea. Have you got a nice sea view?
We had one. It's not.
When somebody built in front of you.
We moved from one house in Scoonies to another house about 4 years ago. We were in Periwinkle Lane with a sea view.
Yes, that sounds lovely. Periwinkle Lane.
And it was lovely, but I must tell you, there's a downside to having a southwest facing house.
Yes. The windows.
In Joburg, I had a guy do my garden. And he gardened. In Scoonies, I had a guy do my garden, and he didn't garden. He just cleaned windows.
Yes, of course.
And I walked out of the house one day, and Jules looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm tasting the laundry." I said, "Do you know how much salt is gathering on our drying clothes?" I said, you cannot believe. I mean, she said, "But you're licking the clothes." I said, I'm tasting how much salt comes off the ocean.
It's a test.
It's a test. And so anyway, it's been a weird experience. And and Periwinkle Land was very nice with the sea view.
Okay.
However, I feel like I've matured in Skunies. And in Skunies, you realize that when you get there the first time, you look at the houses and you go, that's the nice house. That's the nice house. And then you live there for a while.
And then you're like,
And you
okay.
go, you know what? Salix Lane.
Yeah.
Just quiet little, we live in like
Just behind.
we live next to Ethel Fugard's old house.
Oh,
in
wow.
Salix Lane.
Okay.
Well, his house.
I thought he was in Villiers Road.
When
we had another house.
But Salix, the house next to us was knocked down, which he lived in. We live in the house next to it. And it's like a little bungalow. It's beautiful.
Nice,
And it's off the beaten track. And all the people that come and check you in Skunies to see how the other half live, they don't see me.
Okay. And have you got kids now?
We've got a daughter.
Okay. So you did eventually have kids.
Eventually, we
Yes.
had kids, and she grew up, and then she went over to the UK last year.
Okay,
Yeah, so-
there we go. You know.
There we go. No, so we had one daughter, and she was at school in Summerstrand,
Okay.
and then
All
last
right,
year matriculated, and she's
Okay.
doing
Pearson.
yeah,
Lovely.
very good school.
Nice school. Oh, yeah.
And she's doing a gap year in the UK now,
Okay.
and it looks like she's going to.
And have you got empty nest syndrome now? Has your wife
Luckily,
been
don't
in
wanna-
tears?
No, not so much that.
Okay.
It's just like what's our purpose in life now?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, Sean, yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. You think, where are you? There are no stands here, no the converse. Sean.
I've had that call, Sean.
Oh,
It's
no.
horrible.
She was.
It's
Aren't you
horrible.
supposed to be here already?
Yeah.
There
Oh,
we go.
shit, I'm
Alistair
sorry.
Stead, greetings. How's it, Alistair? Nice to
Barcelona.
hear from you, man. I didn't even know he was over there.
Yeah,
Alistair.
you must see the stand he's just built for Rwanda.
Wow.
I mean, he's also in my business.
Okay,
So he
okay.
does exhibition stand builds.
Rwanda.
He works for Scan Display, who I used to
Okay.
work for.
Oh, I see. Because now Rwanda is another place that's exploding in the moment.
Everybody's
Really.
going there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no.
the building and the stuff that's going on there, the
Yeah,
investment
it's
is amazing.
Crazy.
There we go. So you see, my wife's already on you. She's on to you already. Can we buy your Squeeze house? No, because your
I'll swap. I
washing
actually
smells like
quite
salt.
like where you guys are situated. we'll just do a
You
trial
know,
swap. Yeah.
We're in the valley. It's lovely in the
Yeah, I love
valley.
the valley.
Yeah. Okay, so and yeah, just saying like these places these countries that have you ever thought of taking it any further? Going have you done any of those in like Mauritius or those expos and stuff?
Expos and things. Yeah, I've done some. Not Mauritius. I know, I'm talking about Al's done Mauritius.
Okay.
But I've done a few expos in other countries, including Auckland, New Zealand.
I know you did do it. You
job.
did it.
Yeah,
She was.
And
okay.
so we've built in other countries. And what we normally do there is we design what the client wants, and we get the local manufacturers to do it, and then
Make
we go
it.
and we
Take it
project
over.
manage it, yeah.
You take it over there.
So yeah, but I love traveling. I think from my road
Yes.
exchange days, I actually thought once in my year of traveling after varsity that I would not stop traveling, and I'd become.
Yeah.
I remember getting down to a beach in Turkey somewhere and looking at these old codgers.
Yeah.
And they were weather bitten and they were
Yes.
tan and they had earrings and they looked like they'd been sitting on the beach for 20 years.
Shirley
and when you met
Valentine.
them, that's pretty much what they've done. They've been there for a
Yes.
very long time. And I looked at them and I thought, maybe this traveling beach life, there's a limit.
Yes.
I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
So
You want
that's-
to do.
I
You want
need
to get
do-
more
I
into
need
your
to get
life.
more involved. So
Yes.
but I still love traveling. I mean, we've been very, very, very lucky of late. Maybe because the kids now are not siphoning the funds off.
Yes.
There's more funds available.
Yes.
So we've been overseas twice this year. We went to Scotland in the middle of the year, and we've just come back from Croatia 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Part of that was
Look at you.
was to go and see the kid. You know.
Okay, yes.
You know, half of half.
Yes.
It's like a reason to go and see the kid and then go on holiday. You know.
Yeah,
See the kid and then go on
and
holiday.
then you go on holiday.
So it was a multi-purpose visit.
Okay.
But I think traveling is.
So it's part of your personality, that as well. Then, are you? Do you think you see yourself as a bit of a risk taker, or not?
I think I'm quite conservative in a way. I've taken risks.
Yeah.
But that's because I think I'm dumb. You know, they're calculated risks. But,
Yeah.
Probably not all the best.
Yeah.
Best advice I would give anybody. I
Yeah.
mean, talk about travel experience.
Your favorite travel experience. What would you say?
There's so many. We this year we went to Scotland. Whenever we travel, we don't plan. Jules and I are very bad planners.
I like that.
We book tickets, we get to our destination, and on the plane there, we study where we're going. And
Jeez,
we
like-
go, okay. So she had booked a camper van, Winnebago type of thing
Yeah.
for Scotland.
Okay.
So we get to Scotland. Yeah, so we get to Scotland, and they've called it I think it's a Route 45 or something. It takes you all around the Outer Hebrides.
Route 45.
And living in because they're geared for camper van living.
Yeah.
So you can park anywhere. You can park on the side of this most incredible cliff overlooking the North Sea. And
Beautiful.
And people go pay for hotel rooms with that.
Yeah.
And you camping in your camper van, and it's got hot and cold running showers, fridges,
Yo.
stoves, the whole trip.
And you hire these things.
And you hire these things. And
Okay.
so that has to be up there with one of my craziest week and a halves in my life.
Yeah.
Granted, Scotland is cold in summer, even in the
At
hot
56, you're going out and did it.
Oh no, we have to try that.
You know?
I mean, even this last Croatia trip, we basically arrived in Dubrovnik and said, "Okay, what do people in Croatia do? You walk the Dubrovnik wall, okay, the old town wall.
Okay,
And you do this.
wow.
So we figured it all out.
Okay.
I also have my swimming is often a problem more than it is a benefit.
Right.
I have this urge to swim in every body of water that I come across. So,
Yes. I know my wife's been swimming. She said you end up there as well.
I can't help myself. If I when we were driving along the north coast in like 12 degrees outside and the water was like 5 degrees and it was so beautiful, I said to Jules, just stop. She goes, what? I said, I need to swim in this lock. She
Yeah?
says, what do you mean? I said, no, this is the lock.
It looks beautiful.
I'm going to go swim now. And there's something about Winnebagos because you
Isn't it cold?
You put your speedo on. You trot down through the little sheep pastures, past the sheep.
Yeah.
Some other tourists are looking at you like you've lost your marbles. You jump in the water. You do a very quick 200 meters.
Yeah.
Crystal clear water,
Wow.
refreshing like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And then you scamper back up the path and jump in a hot shower in your Winnebago. I mean,
what a pleasure,
and then
actually,
there's
yeah.
hot tea.
Yeah.
And, it just works.
Actually, Philip is also, you talk about these things, Philip is getting super jealous because that's what you're look at that. She says you're living my life in a camper van. That's exactly what she wanted to do. I'll have to do that. It's going to be a part of my.
It's a definite must-do thing. It really is.
You know, I see Cheryl Reynolds. How's it, Cheryl? Nice to see you there too. Incredible. Thank you so much. It's lovely to. And so, tell me about your worst travel experience, Andrew. Tell me the worst thing that's ever happened when you've been traveling. You must have had some cuck in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I mean, I've got the most recent ones are front of mind.
Yes, of course.
I'm trying to think back to the worst ones. And it would. I wouldn't say my year in the UK as a post-student hippie was traveling. That was more like sort of trying to find a job.
Okay, right.
I were some bad experiences there. I won't go there. I tell you what's not nice
You what?
is having the runs in a camper van.
Oh God, no! I'm sure.
No,
that's
too close quarters.
It's not going to work.
No,
Yeah.
it's very close quarters. And
Oh, my
so,
word.
I mean, we had a puncture in the camper van. I mean, we had every
yeah.
experience you could.
Okay.
But I would say definitely not the worst. I'm trying to think. We also managed to go Orange River rafting in January this year.
Oh wow!
And
Okay.
when the Orange River rafting company says to you, nobody comes in January or February because it's too hot.
Too hot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you book anyway.
Oh right. Yes, because it's cheaper.
And, yeah, it's cheaper. And you get there, and it's so hot that it's 50 degrees at the border post. 50.
50 degrees.
The car says 50. And you're sitting there thinking, I've got 5 days on this river in 50 degrees.
Jeez, like,
You know, yeah, but I wouldn't say it's the worst. It was probably the toughest holiday. Because you get easy holidays,
yeah.
good holidays, bad holidays.
Yeah.
This was a tough, good holiday.
And it's still a holiday. It's still an adventure.
It was an adventure.
What an adventure
It was
than a
an
holiday.
adventure, but it was tough.
Yeah.
Like we made a pact with the people that we went with that there would be no bitching and moaning about the weather because we had agreed that it would come in in the period that when they don't recommend coming.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
you just shut up and
You
enjoy
just
it.
go.
But that was good.
Oh, so.
Traveling.
And how was the rafting? Lekker. Is that
Yeah,
a good? Was it a recommendable thing?
Very recommended. The good thing about going that time of the year is that there are no other rafters. So
Oh, right.
in season, you got to share your you're on the Orange River and there's like different outfits they each got 7 or 8 boats.
Okay.
And each outfit sends their guys down on the day, and you find yourself having to share a beach with like 3 or 4 different other companies, and now you got to sort of vie for position on your campsite. We didn't see a single person.
You got the best campsites. You got the best.
We could choose exactly where we wanted to stop, where we wanted to camp,
Excellent.
where we wanted to do anything. So there is a benefit to going in the outer season time.
Now the other things. Now we'll get into the thing because I remember seeing a post that you made that you actually that you lost your camera you left it at Heathrow or something. And so it's but I know your photography. We haven't got into your photography because you enjoy taking photos.
And it's not something that I set out to do.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I think cell phones came along and they made it easy.
Yes.
I've always had a decent camera.
Yeah.
But it was always a step to carry it around because it was a Canon with this
35mm.
It's a mission.
Yeah.
And then so cameras on phones got so good.
Yes.
And I'm not saying this, but people say I have a good eye for composition. So maybe
okay. There we go.
not the only artist.
Yes, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not.
Maybe I have a few skills.
Yes.
So apparently, with my limited ability to compose pictures and a very good Samsung, you can take really good pictures.
Yeah.
You combine that with the fact that I live in Skoonies, which is like
beautiful.
It's like there's sunsets almost every night.
It is beautiful.
I've got beautiful dogs. I've got beautiful paths. You got to see. I mean, if you don't take pictures, and then you must be an ignoramus.
Yeah.
So I take them, and then I've got all these millions of pictures on my phone, and because I don't know what to do with them, I post them, and then I stop posting for a while because I get tired of posting, and then people say, "But why aren't you posting?" I say, because I've posted a million sunsets. And they said, but we like your sunsets. But I said, I'm tired of posting sunsets because anyway,
I've got too many.
I actually can't help myself. You'll ask Jules, my wife, or anybody who walks with me. If I don't take my phone out, I can walk, and the dogs and everybody's happy. The minute there's something that catches my eye, I take my phone out, and then the rest of the walk is
about. What about this one?
Maybe I need to get down low here.
This, Maybe this. There we go. There's some photos there. Look at that.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh man, these are your dogs.
There's my dogs. There's yellow dog and.
You got a little sausage dog there.
And Frankie, yeah.
Okay.
So
I see that. Look at that. It's the composition,
I like to compose pictures. And
wow, look at that.
That's the moon.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And that was just the other day. That's one walk. Yeah. And I keep thinking, if that's one walk,
Yeah. That's Saudi Bay.
That's just past the monument there. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's the moon.
Yo.
Yeah, that's with my phone.
This like with your phone. Holy crap.
So I mean, it's not, there's no limit to what you can do with phones nowadays.
Wow. That looks really good.
So I do enjoy taking photographs. I probably take too many, and I probably bore some people. Other people enjoy it.
I always say you always got to have a person in a shot, but it's not the case over here.
No. And then I get abuse from my family because I keep them waiting, and then my daughter hates photographs of herself. So
there's all.
So what happened there is. I have a GoPro that I bought not long ago.
Wow, look at that.
My first ever underwater camera.
Holy moly.
And we went via some friends in London on the way to Croatia, and I forgot to pack it in my overnight bag to Croatia.
Oh, man.
And every
day... So was that your friend's place? So you didn't lose it?
No, I didn't lose it, but I swam every single day in Croatia in water like that.
Man.
Just like that.
Man.
This isn't my picture. This is horrible. Right. But every day I swam in water like that. And I kept thinking,
you should have had it bloody. That's what it is.
I'm dying.
Look at that. Where is that? That's beautiful.
That's in East Sussex, near
I was going to say it looks like England.
Yeah, and Guinea fowl in East Sussex.
Guinea fowl.
I was thinking, what the hell?
It's a mushroom.
It's a mushroom.
Yeah, the mushrooms there.
So everybody who knows me knows that I just cannot help myself.
Oh, that's beautiful,
I
man.
just take pictures.
But you certainly are. You can see you've got that eye for a composition.
Yeah.
Is that your friend?
That's Dave Pattle, the oak who saved
Oh.
the boat. He got rescued with me. He's now living in the UK.
Okay, the two rescuees. Oh, somebody tag Dave Tattle, please. I see Julia's online here. She's conspiring with my wife already. She said she's got she's got all the info about the Winnebagos.
I can't claim to be the person responsible for planning.
She does
Jules, if you want to travel cheaply
Yeah.
and effectively
Yeah.
and find the best places, Jules
Yeah.
has got a knack. She should have, I don't know, she must have called you. She should have been a travel agent, but she doesn't. She does it. I don't know. She has a knack for finding the right places. I
Yeah.
mean, the place we had in the accommodation now in Dubrovnik and the flights, it
Yeah.
all just worked so well.
Yeah.
So she's got a knack.
Yeah. Okay, she's got a thing. Oh, look at that. Wow.
Now that's where I swam around that.
Oh, my
That's where I
soul.
needed my
That is
GoPro.
absolutely beautiful, eh?
And I must tell you what happened.
It looks like something out of Mamma Mia movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got
So
the boat there as well.
Day 2 of Croatia,
Yeah.
we hire these canoes
Yeah.
and we paddle around that coast, that same
Yeah,
one, isn't it?
yeah.
And we come to quite a deserted part of the coastline. There's nothing. There's an old hotel above us that's been shot out during the Serbian war.
Okay,
But there's nobody living there, so there's no humans anywhere.
Yeah.
We park the boat. Jules and Erin, my daughter, go onto the beach and just park for a while. I decide it's time for a swim. I swim around the coast. I find
Yup.
a little cave.
It's warm or
Yeah.
Okay,
It's like
that's right.
22 degrees.
Wow,
I
okay.
find this little cave and it's crystal clear blue water
Lovely.
cave. I swim underneath. I see these like shapes that look like old pieces of metal.
Yeah.
I start fiddling around
Yeah.
and I move one of the pieces of metal and a rock moves and underneath it is a ring
Yeah.
that looks, I wish I had it here,
Yeah.
like a Roman
Oh, no
ring.
ways.
I
Wow.
kid you not. I stuck it in my cozy. And
Yo.
I scuffed it out of it. I have now brought it back and I've
Yeah.
asked somebody to look at it.
Yes.
They can't identify it, but they think it's silver, and it's got a moss agate in it. But it
I think I might
looks-
have the guy that might be able to identify it, and that's Andrew Freeborn. I've had him on the show before, and he's a coin guy.
Okay, he might. Be.
But he's
It looks. I've googled it. I've tried to do
Yeah.
my own research, and it looks Romanesque.
wow. He would know. I'm telling you, he would know. I'm going to put you in touch with old Andrew Freeborn, definitely.
Please do.
What about the Lord of the Ring? It's
precious.
Precious. You found your presents. What about your Lord of the Ring? That is so funny. Now, the traveling gets addictive, says David. Yes, you're quite right. You're doing right.
It does.
Yeah. And there we go. Look at that
Look,
conspiring. Philip has already tagged Andrew Freeborn there in the thing. Andrew,
I need Andrew. I need to
it's
tell
you've
me.
got to help him with this ring. He's found a ring in Croatia, and we need to know how old it is and what it is.
Okay, even try and find the picture I took of
Oh,
it.
right, you
All
gotta-
have a look at it.
Oh man, we'll have to get
Yeah.
it in. But in the meantime, I'm going to get. We're going to get to the next section of our thing, which is. Oh, there we go. Can you put
There you
that
go.
up?
I don't know
Wow,
if we
that
can
looks
put that up.
amazing. I don't know if we can get this up in the camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that ring. Hey,
Eh?
Andrew Freeborn, come on, look
Thank
at
God,
that.
Andrew. Tell me what that is. I know you
What the hell
can.
is that? Do you think it might? I mean, it's going to be. It was
looks-
underneath an old.
An old piece of
Wreck
metal
or something.
under a cave on the Croatian
Yeah,
coastline.
surely it wasn't from a diver. That's.
No, well, I showed it to Duncan, my brother. He says he sees them on Timu all the time.
We'll see. Andrew's the first one to tell you if you've got a pile of shit in your hand or
Oh,
not.
no,
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
All right. Now the next little section is called the Getting to Know You section, which is actually a little. We ask a couple of little questions, unannounced questions, unprepared questions, and it digs a little bit into your personality, Andrew. See
Well, I
what
think
kind of person you are.
I've revealed enough already.
Let's go. Put it.
to know you, get to know all about you.
And we're in. Something particularly spontaneous or irresponsible that you've done.
Yes, I took off with an Irish bridesmaid after I went to a mate's wedding and spent a month camping around.
Wedding crashes.
I just decided. She asked me if I would spend a holiday with her, and
Who
I
would
was
you
supposed to
spend
go
a
back to the
holiday
job.
with me?
I was supposed to go back to London to a job, and I said, That sounds like
All right, I'd rather do that. Oh, that would be lovely. Let's go and we'll be around some sheep and some goats and
before
things.
I got married. Just
All right, yes. not while you were married. That would be very irresponsible. That might win the competition for irresponsible. What is something that people would be surprised to know about you? Oh, Julia can help us with that as well. Anything that something.
I'm a little OCD.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
I need things to be in their place.
Just so.
And don't ever be late.
oh, really? No late, no
Just don't, if
lateness.
you come late, then I just
Have a heart attack.
Yeah, and one of my other reasons for leaving Joburg was I was going to be the result of a road rage incident.
Oh, really?
So
You also.
I had issues.
Well, you know what? My Elijah stays with us. One of my son's friends stayed with us for a while. He's got a method. He says that when he's on his little scooter, he's got a scooter just like yours. He's got the little fiddler.
Yes, the
It's
fiddler.
the fiddler. It's old Brenton von Weissbeins. He stays behind us. Yeah.
Supported my midlife
The
crisis as
KTM,
well, yeah.
the KTM guy, and he got a little a scooter, and when people with road rage, he said he doesn't lose it anymore. What he does is he just goes like this. He gives them the
Just the thumbs down.
the thumbs down, like I'm disappointed, And I tell you what, that works way better than losing it.
I think so. I think
I
you're
mean,
right.
you've got to stop yourself from losing it just before you lose it. Though.
Exactly. I once saw my mom lose it in Joburg, and she turned to the person who she was just touching, and she went like this. And I thought that was very effective.
Yeah, it was.
The person next door thought this was very insulting.
It was. It probably infuriates them. But the thing is with the thumbs down, you just it's just disappointment, like you are a bit of a knob.
And I must say, it shows self-control.
Yeah, it's like I just expected better from you.
Yeah, I might adopt that.
It's a brilliant plan, and I've got to still do it because I lost it on the taxi the other day when I was on my bicycle.
I don't know what that means, though.
No, I don't know. I'll have to just do it. Yeah, I'll have to just do it. Okay, the most physically painful thing that you've ever experienced?
I'd had a proper accident at age 12, but it wasn't painful. Probably most painful.
Well, maybe it's an arm thing, I suppose. That
Arm thing was proper.
Yeah.
I've cut that out of my life.
Yes, because I've heard that is probably the most painful thing.
That was properly.
Barring childbirth, I think dislocated shoulder must be.
And then they're popping it back without drugs. No.
Oh no, geez, that is hectic. Okay, but we're waiting for Julia to tell us something about you
she might know.
that you don't, that other people don't know. Something that he does, a talent that he might have. The most nervous that you've ever been?
Nervous.
Yeah, what do you reckon?
Probably around my wife.
Oh, really? The early days.
Yours might be short, but she's.
Okay, she does stick of dynamite.
Dynamite.
She,
No, I'm nervous. I learned early on that talking to people wasn't a problem.
yeah.
So that never
Never stressed you. Okay.
And
So you can do a
talking
speech or that's okay.
Yeah, talking to people in higher places, I got over that quite quickly.
Yeah.
Nervous. I must have been very nervous a lot of times. Oh, you know what it is?
What?
Sporting events.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If you have to actually partake. You
Yeah,
mean?
like when you're
a run
standing
or-
at the start of an Ironman or the start of a DC or the start
Yes.
of a Transboviance,
Yes.
that feeling of like, what am I
What am I doing? Am I going to make it?
I've got 24 hours of pain ahead of me. Why?
I know. Yeah, why
And
do I
that,
do
like,
this?
Panic and fear and
Yo.
nerves just kill
You've
me.
done the Ironman.
Just once.
Just once. One Ironman.
I did the one 2017. I was 49. I had 1 year to turn 50.
Okay.
And I needed to do a lot of stuff.
All right.
So I did the 5150. I did the half, and then I did the full, and then I did the Mauritius Marathon. All in 2017.
Jeez.
And
okay.
all of them went really well. The half Ironman in East London was my hardest. That
It's
was
a
the hardest day.
70.3 or whatever.
70.3.
Yeah.
I found that to be the most taxing of all of those events. But then I did train quite nicely, and
Yeah. And you do the swimming, which is
I
a
love
tough
the swimming.
one.
The swimming for me is I could have done 14 swims and not run.
Gee whiz.
I like biking.
You
I like
like
swimming.
running.
I don't like running.
Not the running.
No.
I'm a runner. I'll run.
can't
That's
run.
okay. But
No, I hurt. I'm not built like a runner. And it hurts.
Okay.
A lot.
that's true. Okay. The most bogus rumor that you've ever heard about yourself.
Rumor.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know of a rumor about myself.
Gary's one is that he has an affair with Anton Karlitz.
No,
There
that
you
is
go.
a bogus rumor. But
Who got most nervous asking your wife to marry you?
Yeah, no.
Rika says.
Yeah. Yeah, that was that was very nervous.
Yeah.
But bogus rumor about myself. Yeah. And I was at an all-boys boarding school. There must have been something.
Yeah. It must have been something. You've never had somebody come to you and said, "Are you
Are
really?"
you that guy? No.
Okay.
Sorry, no,
plans for the future.
Plans for the future. It's like Jules and I are thinking. Okay, well the kid's gone.
Yeah.
Businesses are both going well because
Yeah.
during COVID we had to, what do they call it? Pivot.
Pivot, yes.
Yeah.
Pivot and fix things
we
up.
didn't really pivot. Jules went left field and got into cannabis.
Oh, right.
So we went from exhibitions into cannabis.
Gee, you was.
And so she thought she would start a little online cannabis business,
Yeah.
CBD,
Yeah.
and it's gone haywire.
Wow.
So now we've got an
Fantastic.
exhibition company, PeriExpo, and we've got
Okay.
Jules has got the cannabis company.
The CBD stories.
CBDs, and they're both doing well, and we both without a kid, and we like to travel, and
Yeah.
so I don't know. The future is wide open. You know when
Wow.
you're
Yeah.
like looking at adventure down
Yes,
there, you're staring
okay.
at it. All
Because
I know-
literally your child has just gone
Just-
over
yeah,
now.
we've-
And Jules, you say, Philippa is also a bit of a wreck because Chelsea's moved down to Cape Town.
Jules's, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jules's plan for the last few years has to buy a Winnebago or a camper van and head up through Africa.
She mustn't speak to my wife.
No,
It's
I
just-
know.
I've heard this.
I'm a little nervous about
I'm
it.
hearing the story not for the first time.
No.
as well.
So I don't know. At the moment, it's wide open, but trust me, there will be adventure.
I'm sure. Okay, and a career highlight. How about that?
There've been many, and I've enjoyed working in the exhibition industry because of the people are amazing. And you know, I mean, it's the entertainment world.
Yes, it is. It is. Bunch of bunch of nutcases.
Nutcases, man. And we do this craziest stuff, and you get through it, and it almost feels like you've fought a battle together.
Yeah.
And you've come out the other side. And I think the highlights have been celebrating those moments where you've achieved massively in your. You know, I've never really thought about having a corporate job versus having my own business.
Always entrepreneur.
Every once in a while, I think, imagine having a 9-to-5 job. I just wouldn't be fulfilled. But I get so stressed at work because you've got so many things to think about.
Yeah.
You know, you from the coffee man to the designer to the everything.
Everything.
And
every single little
section, and I go, but the rewards are just spectacular as well.
Yeah.
And we need, and I always feel guilty when I go overseas because I think people must think I'm ripping them off because I've got so much money, but I don't. We go on a shoestring basis.
Yeah.
I get there and I go, it feels good. You know, when you've earned you've earned that beer at the top.
And you have
of the
that break.
Yeah.
You have that break.
And that's what feels good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Just one more thing. If your life had been different, if you did to go back, is there anything that you would change? Anything that you would?
You know what? I probably would have spent more time doing, and this is weird, but I didn't give academics a chance. And not to say academics, I don't want to be a doctor, lawyer, but I walk around and I have such appreciation. So I studied history, and I love history.
Okay.
I can go to places.
That's why he chose it, because
I can stand in front of a Roman blockhouse wall with no plaques, no information, and I can just stand there for an hour and feel what it may have been like to live in the. I get so I feel history.
The reality of that history.
Of that moment. So I wish I'd done more history, and I probably could still. But the other thing that fascinates me, which I wish I had done, which I can still maybe do, is understand geology better.
Yes,
I
rocks.
love rocks. Rocks are like what started everything. And it contributes to the landscape. So everything the reason why cities are built and not built is the geology.
Well, that's why Scoonies is so interesting as well.
So that sort of thing. I mean, I probably, I'm not good at academic, but I would love to go back and maybe do something.
Do some of that. I want to find. You can find out maybe because I've been told that there's a fault line in Target here, like literally an earthquake fault line
Waiting to happen.
It's not. It's gonna. It's I don't know. It's not gonna be any earthquakes, but it is a fault line. You can actually see it going through some of the.
Check it out.
I think I got to. Every time I ride past, I'm looking and I'm thinking, but I'm not good enough to spot it.
I live next to an accomplished geologist.
Oh, brilliant!
He's a bit old now, so I can't pick his brain. But
Yes.
I wish I had when I had the chance.
Yes.
But it's like just knowing what sandstone or what rocks.
Yes.
And
what are those rocks down in
Why
Scoonies?
are there pebbles embedded in this rock?
Yes.
How on earth did that happen?
What's that? Why are the ones at Scoonies? Why are they red? Is it the ferrous thing? Is it the iron?
I just love to know all of that.
Why are there bits of marble in between
there?
there?
Getting old.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That wouldn't have interested me at age 8.
Exactly, like you're talking about that blockhouse.
Yeah.
What was the soldier standing there guard? Where did he go afterwards? Where did he?
I must just tell you, one of my other trips we did, we went to Duncan's wedding in France.
Yeah.
Years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And Jules knows I've got a problem with history, so we're staying in this old French like guest house, but it's a converted like barn.
Yeah.
And it looks like it comes out of a German war movie.
Oh wow!
So we go for a walk in the woods behind the barn.
Yeah.
And I said, just imagine, I can close my eyes and I can see the Germans coming through there.
With the tracks on
the French resistance folks behind the trees. I kid you not.
Yeah.
There's a tree that's been sawn.
Yeah.
And there's a bullet.
Yeah.
That's in the middle.
No way.
I kid you not. There's a bullet in the middle. Tree, and I look at this and I said, come look at this. He goes, what? I said, there's a bullet in the middle of this tree. I said, do you know who shot that? I said, that was a German in 1943. I don't know his name, but I can tell you now.
His name was
German
Fritz.
shot at somebody, it landed in the tree, and there I am reliving this moment in history that may or may not have happened.
Yes.
Man, it was...
You can imagine him on that motorbike thing with the tracks on the back, with the double tracks in the motor. I don't know what you call those things. A Wurstwagen. I don't know. They used to call them something.
So I get a kick out of being close to historical.
I love that. So there you got to. I'm totally with you with that. So
I feel it. We saw this tree, this plane tree, just outside Dubrovnik in a little town. You drive past, and it's absolutely massive.
Yeah.
We got out just because we saw it, and we thought, okay, well, let's just go have a look. And there's an arboretum further down where they've got trees from all around the world, but this tree has been there for over 500 years.
Yo!
And I stood next to this tree, and I held the tree, and I said, "But just give me one story. Just one."
Yeah, imagine, all the people that have come past, all the things that it's seen. Incredible.
I just love that.
Andrew Stewart, you've been a fantastic guest. So we know a world record, hour and a half.
A long time to talk.
Absolutely.
In a bright jacket.
It's been amazing, and I loved the fact that we definitely found some commonality, because I do love history. So we'll talk that every time you see you at the events now.
I didn't even talk about you abseiling down the bridge.
Go, we did that. I did. You got me to abseil. You got me to abseil down the bridge,
off the settlers.
Off the highway.
Off the
that highway.
I mean, of all the things I've done, I mean, it wasn't only me, but we got you.
Yes, you did. It was Andrew Muir. Was it? Who was it? I can't remember.
We were launching a post-COVID tourism expo.
Yes, it was an expo.
And we needed somebody crazy enough to jump off the bridge and abseil down.
And you know that bridge, it was the one that was cut off there.
Yes, yeah.
That bridge was actually going to come straight. It's going to lead the road straight through the valley, and it was going to cut off the corner of our house right over here.
Oh wow!
How's that? So there's some more history for you.
So back at you.
Yeah, but they decided no, they're not going to do it because it would destroy the valley, the green lung.
Gino,
thank goodness.
Put in his.
Definitely, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara, man, and thank you, man. And I see, I always think of soccer when I think of Barbara, because her husband was Apple Manor, who's a soccer guy.
Right.
And we've got the comp. I don't know if we're going to do the compo this week. We'll do a quick draw. Our winners will win a case of Fitch and Leeds, which will be posted to you. So let's give it a go. give it a go. We've got some new people online today as well, so we've got a new winner.
Comment.
And yeah, you get to enter the compo. Absolutely, and it's Natasha. Natasha Comedy.
You're always winning, Natasha.
You know, she's a winner.
She's a winner.
You're a winner, Natasha. We'll send that to you as well. A case of Fitch and Leeds, and next week we're going to have the cases of the penguin juice.
Oh,
the penguin juice. We're going to have some great competition. We are going to give away, I think, about 5 of those on the night as well, on the 3rd of December. So if you're watching at that time, we're going to do a few draws throughout the evening, and that's going to be a nice one. It's going to be a fun one to do as well. We're going to talk about the penguins.
Oh, I've had fun.
Good, I'm glad you have, and it's been
It wasn't
absolutely...
just the 2 gins. I think it was just Gary's, your company. Thank you, guys.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Fitch and Leeds, our sponsor. And remember, in East London, we've got our shows this weekend, The Innovators and ABBA. And then there was another thing. Oh, the Penguin show on the 3rd. The Penguin show is on the 3rd. And then the Cinderella Ice Queens in Charge starts on the 3rd of December as well. On the 3rd of December is starting the pantomime, and that's going to be at the Center Stage at Bay West Finley. Thank you, Henry. Fantastic. And we'll see you next week.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino Spot!
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino Spot!
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your mental. Have a Gino shot.
Gino Shot!
Get to Gino's spot.